So a few months back, I decided to do some house cleaning with my kit. I already got the Fujifilm X-H2 and the X-H2S, and because I was using those cameras more often than my Sony kit, I decided to exchange my Sony kit for money. And I thought I was gonna put this money aside for a rainy day, but then something happened. My stomach started to hurt, it was getting gassy, it was bubbly and rumbling, and then, unbeknownst to me, I got gas. I took Pepto-Bismol and it didn't work. I couldn't bear this gas any longer, and I just had to let it out. Oh yeah, and this happened right here, guys. Look at this. Look at that. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Iamtongue, and in today's video, we got this bad boy right here, the Panasonic S5 Mark II. That's right, I sold all my Sony kit and jumped to the Panasonic Lumix side. It's crazy, I keep jumping ship, but as long as I keep the Fujifilm as the main, I'm okay with flirting with other camera systems and see what they have to offer. So I've been eyeing the good old Panny Boy for a while. It was the camera that I wanted to use initially before I picked up the Sony system. The reason why I chose the Sony system is because of the autofocusing. The Panasonic full frame camera at the time did not have that phase detect autofocus, so that left the Panasonic footage looking like they had some sort of pulsing issue. But when the S5 Mark II was announced in January, I was quite intrigued. I heard good things about the Panasonic on their Micro Four Thirds side. People swear by the GH4, the GH5, the 6, and saying how it's such an amazing camera minus the autofocusing. I've seen the announcements and I've seen the reviews, and I thought I'd give it a shot. You know, just dabble in the Panasonic ecosystem for now. I've only had this camera for about a week or so. Right now I have it on with the Black Mamba cage from Small Rig, which I think looks sexy as f, and it's so freaking sleek too. It just adds more stability and better points of contact when I have to handle the camera from side to side, right? And it also has top handle, and I have some side handles to attach to the side. If you want more information on the rig, I'll leave the link to it down in the description below. This is such a good looking camera. Look at that. That's such a good looking camera right here, man. They also said that the Panasonic's color science is really, really good. I haven't made a decision on how I feel about their color science yet. This is my first impression. I took it out for a test shoot and I kind of like it. I can already tell that this autofocusing is not as good as the Sony a7 IV when it comes to photography, but that's okay because I'm not looking for like the best. I'm just looking to see if it's reliable. But I also use this camera for a couple of YouTube videos. So if you've seen some of my recent videos, some of them were filmed on the Panasonic S5 Mark II, but yeah, I do like the way this camera looks. I like the footage that comes out. I do like the images that I get out of it, so everything's been great so far. But yeah, the photos look stellar. That full frame look is awesome, and I'm happy that it's a 24 megapixel sensor. I'm actually very comfortable at 24 megapixel. More megapixel means more storage. More storage for data, meaning more memory cards and hard drives are needed, meaning more money spent. So I'm okay with the 24 megapixel sensor. Just using the 40 megapixel sensor from a Fujifilm X-H2, and when I had the Sony a7 IV with its 33 megapixel, it does take up more space. So I am really glad to see smaller raw sizes. I actually like how this camera is built. It feels very good to hold. And the EVF and LCD screen is an upgrade from the Sony a7 IV. I did find that the EVF on the Sony wasn't as clear and sharp. So I'm glad that this S5 II is an upgrade over the Sony. The one thing that bothers me though is that this camera does have a slow startup time. That's the first thing I noticed when I was using this camera. It doesn't load up quick as the Sony a7 IV or my Fujifilm X-H2S for that matter. The time that I turn it on till my eye hits the EVF, there's still a bit of lag, and it would still be black for about half a second to a second. So we gotta talk about another thing that I like here, and that is the IBIS. I was using it the other day to just record some sample footage, and I am blown away by their stabilization. This is the real deal. Everyone keeps saying how their stabilization is top notch, and this is really, really good compared to what I am used to. Whenever I do handheld filming with my Fujifilm X-H2S or the Sony a7 IV, I've always had like micro jitters, even with the IBIS turned on, and it just makes the footage look shaky sometimes. Sometimes it looks like the IBIS is fighting against you, so it just makes it look so robotic and stiff. Again, I don't have the steadiest of hands. However, this is the first camera that I've ever used that has given me a steady handheld footage without any of that micro jitters and that shakiness. So I am very impressed with their IBIS. Besides the IBIS, the Panasonic Lumix system is also known for their color science. I haven't shot with this camera enough to give it a definitive answer about the colors yet, but from what I've seen so far, and take this with a grain of salt, so the color science looks like it could be better than Sony, but not as good as Fuji. I may be a little biased here because, again, this is a Fuji channel, so do what you want with that information. But there's still time to change my mind. This is only the first impression so far. But yeah, like again, so far I'm digging it. I'm going to have this entire summer to play with this thing. So I'm super excited because I'm going to be traveling to Spain and Italy this summer, so it'll give me an opportunity to test drive this camera out and hopefully bring you along for the ride because there's more to touch on. If you want to see me take this camera out for a portrait session here in Portugal, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when those videos come out. But there you have it, folks. This is my first impression. I'm super excited to get my feet wet with the Lumix system. Like I said earlier, I was always interested in the Lumix brand, but the S5 II and its implementation of the phase detect autofocus was the camera that made me jump ship from the Sony to now the Panasonic. Let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think of the Panasonic Lumix cameras? Are they great cameras to work with? And as always, my name is Tongue. I'll see you in the next video. I love you. Goodbye. Okay.